Hello everybody, welcome to Thursday Inspirational Thoughts, and this is where we delve more into quotes, friendship and more about our personality and why we are us, why each person is individual and the way that they are. So this is part of my series of Who Are You? And this episode is your personality by what is important to you. And I'm going to ask you a question and give you selective answers if you needed them. And then by your answer decides where your personality traits lie by what is important to you. And on this channel, do check my playlist. I have a whole playlist based on who are you. And there's many things I can do on the live, but a lot of things that I can only do on video content for this series. So if you're into the workings of your mind and your body and your traits and your personality, then this is the series you will enjoy. So today we're going to begin with the question. And you may have heard this question before, but this gives you actual answers. So you could do it, first of all, just thinking what you would answer without answer suggestions, and then I'm also going to give you suggestions. And the question is, if you could only save one of the following items from a destructive fire, which one would you choose to save? So as I say, you could just answer that question out of all the things you possess. What is the one item you would save in a fire? So let's think about that one first, and then I'll give you the sub answers, which could evoke a completely different meaning. So firstly, if you could only save one of your actual possessions in your home in the case of an emergency fire, you haven't got time to run around and collect things, you can only pick up one thing. What one item would you pick up? And with that, you can think about that yourself. Think first, why did you choose that item? Think also, is it really the most important thing to you? Maybe it's something that's irreplaceable. Maybe it's something you sense is of value. Maybe you think it's just something that will be purposeful in the future. Or is it something you need to save to denote yourself? So I'm talking things such as paperwork, documents, that kind of thing. So straight away you can see answering your own personality by the sort of item you've collected. Is it a treasured item? Is it a practical item? Or is it just something very random? And I'd love to know in the comments below under this video what your chosen item would be out of all the things you possess, why you collected that thing in the case of the fire, why you chose that one item to save, and also after that, your own diagnosis of what you think that reveals about yourself. So now I'm going to ask the question with sub answers. Now you have to pick one of these answers. If you could only save one of the following items from a destructive fire, which one would you choose to save? And you have 4 options. The first option is a unique, one-off, antique portrait that a friend loaned you dubiously. That's a bit of a twist, isn't it? So think about that one first of all. So I'll just say that one again for you so you can think about it a little bit more, because sometimes when it's a troublesome answer like that, you need to think again. So if you could only save one of the following items for a destructive fire, which one would you save? Number 1, a unique, one-off, antique portrait that your friend loaned you dubiously. What do you make on that? That's a very interesting one for sure. Okay, let's go on to answer number 2. Is this the one thing you would save? A large photograph album of irreplaceable photos from many different generations of your family. So I'll say that again. It's very important, all the content of the answer. A large photograph album of irreplaceable photos from many different generations of your family. So, of course, these are things you haven't got loaded on your phone and so on and so forth. You haven't saved in any other format. So think about that one. Answer number 3. Would you save this as your choice of one only item? All of your savings that you withdrew only a short while ago to put down payments on setting yourself up for life in both property and business. Ooh, there's an interesting one. And answer number, I'll read that again because sometimes you need to hear it again in more detail. So answer 3, all of your savings that you withdrew only a short while ago to put down payments on setting yourself up for life in both property and business. Ooh. I love Q&As. If you want to send me any questions like this, I love Q&As in all respects. And answer number 4, your final choice. Would you choose to save your most treasured possession? So that's quite an open answer, really. Your most treasured possession, whatever that may be. And of course, we're not talking people here. We're not talking animals. We're not talking anything living here. Nothing living, obviously. I hope that will be what you get first, your children and your pets. Don't know which order. I don't know which order. Hey, and if you've got multiple babies and you can't juggle them all at once, oh my goodness, that would be a dilemma. Question in itself. Doesn't bear thinking about. Let's not go there, Dawn. So answer 4 is your most treasured possession, whatever that may be, apart from anything living. Okay, so, and that's saving your children. I have done I think it was a live on this channel. It might have been a chat. Can't remember, talking about middle child syndrome, and that's something very dear to my heart. And if you don't know, I did psychology as part of my degree and in different aspects, so I do know what I'm talking about. So yes, middle child syndrome, if that's something you're interested in. I'm pretty sure it would have been titled, as I say, a live. I'm pretty sure I did it as a live. Pretty sure. So they are for you to ponder over. So remember, you've got 2 things to do here. One, to just say without those answers what you would save, and then answer again. Answer number 1, 2, 3 or 4. So you can just put the number 1, 2, 3 or 4. So I'll just run them by you one more time. Answer 1, a unique one-off antique portrait that your friend loaned to you dubiously. Answer 2, a large photograph album of irreplaceable photos from many different generations of your family. Answer 3, all of your savings that you withdrew only a short while ago to put down payments on setting yourself up for life in both property and business. Or answer 4, your most treasured possession. So answer, first of all, just randomly, what one actual item is that you would take, and then answer the second part of the question. Either answer 1, 2, 3 or 4, and it doesn't matter if they're different answers. So have a look at that. So I'll just play you a quick interlude and then I shall go into more depth. So that's a little new live I'm going to be doing on my 3rd channel, my dancing channel. If you're interested in anything dance, drama, acting, or fun skits and sketches, then that's a channel for you to take a look at. And everything is in a playlist. So each separate subject is in a separate playlist. If you are looking for dance tuition, start at the very first video of that dance subject. If you're highly accomplished, start at the latest one, but there will be obviously some in-betweeny things that overlap. So if you've answered those questions later on in the comments below, then I will tell you what that signifies in your comment. But what we're going to talk about is that was to do with decision making. Who makes your decisions? You might put the blame on other people for decisions you made. Are decisions only based on the options you're given? Why not create other options? So, reading from my textbook, you were born with a set of genes that determined your inherited characteristics. Your upbringing affected your attitude to life and your attachment to people, places, and objects. During your childhood, you realised you did not have much choice about important things, such as where and when you were born, where you lived, and what made your parents and other adults what they did. As a result, you made some important childhood decisions, mostly about how to get where you wanted. We all do it one way or another. If you're a parent, you will know your children do it too. What happens during and after teenage becomes more and more a matter of making personal decisions. Certainly, you do not have license to choose everything that will happen in your life, but you do have total freedom when it comes to deciding what to do about the choices open to you and how to increase your options. Who makes your decisions now? Is the child in you still making your decisions? Or have you grown up and begun to make responsible adult decisions? It's a question worth asking yourself. Some people quite obviously assume they have no choice and expect authority figures like the government, the army, the boss to put things right and give them what they want. Others, however, are still making child decisions in a much more subtle way. As children, we see our parents as all-powerful. They get their way, so we think that if we imitate our parents, we will get our way. Do you ever hear yourself saying or doing something the way your parents did? Or you may have been a rebel child. So do you now do things in the complete opposite way to your parents, regardless as to whether or not it actually makes you happy? How to find out who makes your decisions. Note down on a piece of paper all the main events of your life in any order, and then go back over the list, adding the age you were at the time. Finally, choose those that had a strong impact on you at that time, the ones you would call good experiences or bad experiences. Your list might look something like this. Got married, age 23, good experience. Jackie moved away, age 7, bad experience. Fell in a pond, age 3, bad experience. Passed my driving test, age 19, good experience. Weekly visits to grandpa, age 6 to 14, good experience. Worked with Gary, age 24 to 27, and got a job in Leicester, age 33, and so on. You can include series of events or a period timescale in your life. Using the table you've now written, write the events against which you wrote good or bad. Begin at the top of the page with the earliest, putting your age in the age column. Work upwards towards the top of the page. Draw a line between each event and a coloured line between your adulthood and your childhood, probably somewhere in your late teenage. Write your list of events And when it is complete, think carefully about each one. Then answer these questions about them all. Begin from the bottom of your list. And the questions will be, so obviously you'll have to run this video back after you've made your list, but I obviously want to add it to the same stream. So the questions would be, 1, did I have choice about what happened? And write yes or no. Number 2, what kind of decision did I make as a result of what happened? Write child or adult in the decision column. Number 3, have I learned from this experience yet? Write yes or no in a learning column. And here's an example. Age 29, moved to London. So the answers are yes, child, yes, for example. Why did someone give these relevant answers? So yes, as a child, etc. Example is Harold, who gave some answers. One is, at age 8, he learned he didn't want to appear weak. And that is, he answered, age 8, he was no good at sports. But at 24, he realised that weakness as he saw it could be a strength. So he made an adult decision to get involved with his child's birth. And then at age 10, it says Dad was out of work. So at age 10, he decided never to be short of money like his dad. And at 29, it says he moved to London. And it says, so at 29, he moved to a job in London on the basis of a child decision, upheaving the family and himself, ending up with less to spend than before and find it costly to put this mistake right. So examples. Remember, there's never right or wrong answers. And the final part of this is your strengths, weaknesses, hopes and fears. In the final comment column, write S for strength, W for weakness, H for hope, F for fears for each of them, referring back to the previous information to see which of your strengths and weaknesses you have put to good use in your life events and which hopes and fears you have discovered are realistic or unrealistic. So who have we got in the house? Hey, Danny Days Ahead. You'll have to run this back from the beginning because it probably sounded like I was talking absolute nonsense if you miss the beginning of what I'm talking about. So all go and check out Danny Days Ahead channel. It's a really great channel, lots of chat and lots of information and following Danny and what she gets up to. So do check that out, guys. It's a really great channel. So don't forget, there are 2 questions for you to answer in the comments below at the bottom. And then if you want to do that, find out more about your personality test and see about why you make or have made choices in your life. Discover your inner personality by what's important to you. And if you want any more information on the answers that you give when you do the chart, then do contact me. Is my email below this? I'm not sure. If my email's not under this live, it will be under other lives. And while we're talking about lives, don't forget that if you want to make StreamYard and you don't yet pay for StreamYard, then you can actually get a discount with my code that is under this video. So if you don't yet pay, then you can get a discount code in the description below to get $10 credit when spending $25 on StreamYard. So that's great for you to get $10 off of that. Danny says, thanks for shouting out her channel. Yes, if any of you want shout out, of course, just come on. I have lots of special little bits that I can put up for your channel. So I've got to keep it short. If you want to know what's happening with me, check out my live on my main channel. New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus. I did a huge medical update on my live yesterday. I have some more information today because, you know, I went to a specialist today. I have more information. I will probably share that Friday, if I remember, on this channel. So you've got to keep up with both channels. On my lives of Wednesday on the other channel and Friday on this channel are my two updates. So it will be over both channels. So do check that out, and I have more information for you. So I'm going to finish it there because I haven't been home too long and I've got things I have to do. So I thank you all very much for being here, and I hope to see you next time. I should be here. What day is it? It's Thursday. I will be here tomorrow. It's a scheduled tomorrow, whereas Thursdays and Tuesdays on this channel are pop-ups. So I will definitely be here tomorrow. So look at the thumbnail and it will tell you in your country what time my live is tomorrow. Until then, thanks for being here.